today we're doing a little bit of playing around, but I just wanted to go over a couple things with doing candles. I take my beeswax and I wash it, and I get it to come from this black icky comb that comes out of it. It's not always pretty, um, but if you do just the wax cappings, um, and you prepare it like in my video for doing the rendering beeswax, usually the wax cappings will come out nice and yellow like this. And if you're actually doing the comb, some of the combs can be very dark. They can arrange from different colors depending on what they're eating, what the comb is possibly getting made out of. Now, I had some comb that was black like charcoal, and I had some that was a mix. So, depending on your comb color, you'll have some that looks like this color and some that will be a little bit darker like that. So, these here, what I would like to do with these is just because you can't really just, get rid of them or to say make candles that are nice and pretty like the yellow candles. You can probably, make your candles all nice and yellow. It's going to be just fine by itself. These actually, I'm going to go ahead and dye these, and that's what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to go ahead and make some candles, and I have some candle dye. Now, this is what I got here to use. You can use any oil-based dye specifically made for candles because it has to be an oil-based dye. If you try to use anything with like a water base, it's not going to do well because oil and water don't really mix. It being wax, it's going to separate, and you really don't want to do that. Or you might have some problems with the wick not burning correctly, so you don't want to do that. So we have some dye that we can play with. We also have, of course, some essential oil that you might want to use. You can use lavender I've got here. I've got some cashmere. I've got some chamomile, depending on what you like to do. I also have these little candle molds that I'm going to do today. I'm going to try to get those done and filled today. We're just going to play around. So I also have some jars of yogurt that I bought at the store. I don't know, they were cheap, but the glass is worth so much more. And these are like the yogurts that you get from Baker's, Kroger's, whatever. But these glasses, they take tremendous heat. So you want to use a glass for your candles that can withstand on the counter or anywhere else and just withstand a whole bunch of heat. So just in case you burn the candle all the way down and, it's going to be, filled with that wax is going to be totally hot. Sometimes people don't pay attention and the whole thing just turns liquid. You just need a glass that can take extreme heat. So what I do is that I just take the labels off of here, and I'll use like a green scrubby, and I'll take all of that residue off of here, prepare my jars to where they look like this. They're nice and clean, and you're able to put wax in them. The other thing, my candles will come out, if you don't color your wax, you can have wax candles that kind of look like this. And with the wax being here, and this one smells like oats and honey is what I used on this one. But these are the candles that I usually make with these jars here. That's what it kind of looks like. And I'll have to show you what the mold one looks like. Any excess wax that I have, I'll usually put it in a quart jar, because the quart jars I can put in and heat them up and in a double boiler and be able to melt them down again later on. So if you don't use the wax, make sure you put it in a container that you can reheat. And since these quart jars take a lot of heat because I pressure cook them and stuff, so this is really good use for your quart jars, just to hold the wax that you're not using. This one actually has the oats and honey smell to it, so I wanted to keep them separate from what I'm using. So if I use like cashmere, I want to keep a jar with just cashmere. I want to keep a jar with whatever oils that I'm using. I want to keep them separate. And you can reheat them up over a double boiler and then create your molds whenever you need to. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go ahead and get these jars ready. My molds are already ready. And I want to figure out, I'm going to do a little bit of, let's see, the color one is what I want to do. I'm going to try to get this icky green because that comb was so black when I did it. It looked really bad. But this is as good as the color I can get to. Not going to be pretty, but once I change the color of this, I'm hoping that it's going to turn out to be a beautiful candle look, and I'll be able to, have these candles made and ready. So let me go ahead and get these labels taken off, and also I have to go grab my wicks real quick too, in making the wicks for these specific molds that you have, and we'll get that done, and I'll show you how to do that. Let me go ahead and get these glasses done and cleaned up so we can start. I'll be right back. So I'm here at the stove. What I've got here is I've got my wok, and you can use any type of big bowl that you have, or big pan, I'm sorry, that you stock pot or something like that you can put a metal bowl in. You want to use metal because it will absorb the heat from the water. And I had this on high, but it was boiling way too much. So when it started to boil way too much, I just turned it down a little bit to medium, and I'm just letting it sit in here. And you can kind of feel your pan, or your bowl, I should say. The bowl is hot, so now I can start adding my wax. And I haven't really measured this, so just want to get about a cup at a time, just so I know, pretty much for next time. But I'm just going to add about a cup at a time. Let that melt, then add another cup, and another cup. Now I did go ahead and wash up my jars, so they're drying right now. They're still wet. But these are 5 ounces. If you get them at the store, it'll tell you how much liquid can go in them, which is nice because it shows you it's 5 ounces for these jars. And these little candle holders are a lot less than 5 ounces, but not too much less than 5 ounces. So pretty much what you're going to use for those, you'll use for these. And you want to take a spatula. Something metal would be nice too, because it can be melted down. Or are you just going to use something that, a stick or something that you can use for your wax all the time? So that's what you want to do. And because it's going to be a pain, because you're going to have to, get all the wax off. So you want to use utensils that you don't care for. Just in case, you just want to throw it away and it won't bother you. So my wax right here is starting to release. It's starting to get wet, and I just want to melt it all the way down. Now you don't want to put this just directly on the stove. You want to use a double boiler because you don't want to burn your wax. Wax can burn. It will leave a nasty residue. It will be hard to get out if you let it cool. It's just a pain in the butt. These metal bins are really nice because you can heat them up right on the stove and melt it and clean your metal bowls up really nice. It's not a big deal with these. So we're just going to let that all melt down. Like I said, I'm going to try probably 3 or 4 or 5 cups. I'm going to let those melt. I'll let you know how many cups I got in here. But right now I've just got the 1 cup, and it's melting down pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and add another cup to it.
keep doing that 1 cup at a time. And you kind of have your own little measurements, so you'll know exactly, you know, how much you used for each batch. So right now I've got 2 cups. And I do have that video up on a rendering beeswax. So then it'll show you how to make these like crumble wax. I like the crumble wax. If you render it and keep rendering it and rendering it, you'll get a sand wax. And it's kind of cool because, I mean, it's a pain in the butt to dry. I mean, you got to have patience for it to dry, but it looks exactly like sand. And you can color it with like food coloring if you wanted to. But like I said, it doesn't burn quite. I know it could mess with the burn because it's food coloring that you're adding to it to give it 2 different colors. I was messing around when I was at an earlier stage, and I made that sand wax, and I put food coloring in it. And I wanted to do like, you know how you have like the sand colors where it's orange and red and stuff. And it came out really nice. I mean, it was different and pretty. And the candle came out pretty good. I didn't really have any issues with burning it per se because I used the food coloring, but that was before, you know, I knew anything about this, what do I say, dye, oil-based dye for candles. And so I had to do my research, which you've always got to do your research before you try something new. So this will be my first time using the dye for the oil-based dye. So yeah, we'll be experimenting together. And this wax that I used is so dark. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get a good color using those using that wax dye, oil-based dye out of it. Right now my wax is so dark. If you see that, it is so dark. But you can see how it comes out. It's not as dark as the liquid. The liquid looks a lot darker. So you're going to want to test it before you actually start pouring your candles. And we'll do that. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and keep going until I get enough in my bowl to do these 5-ounce jars. We'll just see. I guess we'll just go, you know, 1 batch at a time and see what happens. So I'll be back when I have enough liquid melted, wax melted, excuse me. Okay, I have my, I have a couple little dishes here, glass dishes, because I just want to test this out. So I want to use something that you can easily wash and get the residue out of them, which is fine. I did find that in order to get the residue out or anything like that, the sticky tabs out of here, if you use Comet on here and with the green scratch pad, it comes off like white on rice. So it's very easy with the Comet to use on this glass, and it cleans it really nicely. It's nice and smooth. So do that. And the same thing with these. When you go to clean them, use that Comet on there to make sure you get all the residue off, and it will take it off once you get all the wax out of there. So you'll heat these up on your double boiler, get them nice and hot, use a paper towel to get any residue out of that, and then use your Comet to clean them out. So that's what we'll do after we get done doing this experiment. So I have the wax here on a hot pad here. I want to keep it as hot as I can because I don't want the wax to cool while I'm doing it. If the wax does cool, just remember to always put the keep your hot water on all the time so that you can take this and put it back on the hot water and melt your wax in case it does get cold. So I've got different colors here that I might want to try. But first, I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what it will look like once I put it in this dirty wax. I mean, it looks really dirty. I mean, if you can tell, it looks like black. So I'm definitely going to have to test it out. Let me see. I wanted to do like a violet, like to have a purple tint because I thought it's so dark. is it even going to show up? If I use a lighter color, I might have to use a whole bunch of it just to get it to a certain color. I'm not really sure, but let's just see what we've got. So let's see. I might do a red, a violet. Actually, I want to do a plum. I think I got plum here. I'll try plum, not just a regular red, because it definitely is not going to become normal red here. So, let's see. What else could I do? I think I'm just gonna do the violet and plum. Maybe see what those do for it, but we'll just do. Let's see. I might just have to do. Wow, it's gonna be darker, I think, because the wax is so dark. It might just, this might not even show up. So I have no idea what it's going to look like. And this is just going to be extremely dark. But it might come out. Let's just try. Let's work with the plum. And yeah, we'll just do the plum and the violet. So I'll work with the plum. I'm just going to pour a little bit of this wax into my bowl. If it cools, you can set this in the water as well. Let's see, I've got a little bit here. I am going to probably, you know what, I probably want to do like 5 ounces or so, maybe, just so I have one candle that I might be able to make out of it. So, oh, I gotta cut the top off. I forgot about that. Snip top off. So you can get 2 droppers. Squeeze. Did I not cut enough? Maybe I didn't cut enough off. Let's try that again. There we go. Now I made sure there's a hole there. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 of those. And I want to use something to stir this up. Like the end of the spoon. Hold on a minute. I have to grab a spoon. Okay. That didn't do anything. Not really. Oh, let's see. That did absolutely nothing in there. And this stuff is already starting to cool, like, quickly. Like, really quickly. And it says on there to add 2 drops to candle dye to 10 grams of wax. So that was 3 drops that I added. 4, 5, 6. Seven, 8, 9, 10. It is getting so cold right now. Look at that. It is just so cold. It's crazy, right? It's almost like I'm just making it like a light green, which is not what I want. That's 10. Man, this stuff is getting cold so quickly. Let me take this over to my stove and re-put this on there. Get this remelted back down. Get it nice and hot again. This just got too cold too quickly. I'm going to transfer what I have to another bowl here. I think I just want to work with something like that. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yeah, that's kind of pretty. That was 26. And I got it to be this pretty color here. Look at that. So that's going to dry. And you can kind of tell, yeah, I used too much wax at first. So it's 20, 22 or whatever. But that's a nice, pretty color. I might just go ahead and go with that because that's exactly what I want. Look how pretty that is. Huh. That's pretty good. It's like a pink. I might add a little more color to that. I might get it a little bit darker, kind of like what this is. So 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Let's see if that makes a difference. That is starting to look like that's almost like a rose, pretty red, pink rose color. That's pretty. She turned out pretty well. 30. I wonder how much drops I'm going to have to use to get all that to look this color. That's what I want it to look like. That was a lot. 30 for just this little bit. Like, wow, I don't even know how I'm going to get one candle to look this pretty. So, what I'm going to do is see this here. Wow, that's crazy. 30 just from that. Wow. I don't know if I'm going to have enough dye. Let me go ahead and reheat this up. Now I know what color it can come out to be. So I want it something like this. Yeah, I have a lot of wax in here, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out. So I will tell you in a minute. I can't even measure this to see how much wax this is. It was 10 cups of wax is what I put in here. So I am going ahead and melt my 10 cups in there again. Scrape everything out. Put this in there with it. Get that nice and heated, and then I'll be back. Remember, we used 30 just to get this, but this is the color that I want it to be. Something like this, which would be nice. I mean, if I could do like 5 ounces, I'd do one candle this color, one candle that color. That would be great, but I don't want to do it like that. I want to do it in batches, and that way I don't have to do, that's just too much work to do separate stuff here. So let me go in and just scrape everything out, reheat everything up, and then we can do the drops again. So I reheated it up. Okay, so remelted it basically. And I have some chunks in here, just fine, because I just want to mix until I get to the color that I want. So that was 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 20. Twenty-one, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, that's another 30. And hasn't really changed too much coloring there. So that's 60 altogether right now. And 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. It's starting to change color, but it's not the brightness that I want. And you can kind of tell from the sides. You're looking at the sides, kind of icky, you know. So I'm just brushing it against the sides, and when it kind of cools down, it kind of gives me the color that it's going to be. All right, so that's 60 altogether, or 90. Sorry, that was extra 30. I better write this down. Where's my pencil? All right, so that's 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That's another. Alright, so 90 and 30, that's 120. 120 drops. Alright, and I'm going to pour this out. I just want them to see what the color is going to be here. So I'm just going to pour it out so I can cool down a little bit. Test it out. It's not the color I'm looking for. Definitely not. As you can see, that is still brown. Yeah, not the color we're looking for. As you can see, it gets cold. Yeah. Ooh, no, not color we're looking for. So that was 120 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That's another 30 out of that, so that makes 150 drops. I mean, it's starting to change. It looks more like a purple. It's getting there. Not quite what I want. Okay. So that's 150. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 160. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 170, we're getting closer. 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 180. 180. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'll be 200 total. Test that out and see. Still doesn't look quite right. It's getting there though. It is getting there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A little bit more, maybe. It's 30 right there. 30. It's getting there. 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it'll be 150 or 250 altogether. Let's see. 250. Nope, not yet. 250. Wow, that's a lot. Here and there. Oh, yep. A little bit of hair. Get that out of there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. So 30. So I'm making 180. 280, excuse me. 280 drops so far. Wow. 280. It's crazy. 280. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 300. It's more pinky than anything. I really don't want it to be pink. So that's 300 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 320. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. So that's 40. I'm going to use this whole little bottle right here just for this. Wow. So that's 340. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. This will be 60. 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so that's 380. That's 380. It's almost to that pretty little color. Well, I guess that's really close to it. I look. Okay, so there's 380. Let's do another 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ton of drops in here in each bottle, so I mean that's like using the whole stinking bottle on 10 cups of wax. Really, I mean, there isn't anything left in here. That's what I'm gonna get. That's what I'm gonna get. That's it. And these are like, how many ounces are in here? Wow. It's a good thing I only did 10 cups, huh? So that's what I get. I'm not even sure what is, maybe it's on the bottle. Net weight. I don't know. I have to get a magnifying glass. I can barely read that. 3.5 ounces, maybe. That's what it says. We'll look later. Anyway, but that's as much as I got. This is the color that it's gonna be. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. That's it. And so I'm gonna take this, scrape the rest of this out of there, because I don't want to waste it. So let's do that. So, see how easy this comes out? Look at that. Wow, just pops right out of those cups. That's so sweet. So use these little things if you have to. It comes out of there really nicely. That's awesome. So nice. And then you just put these on your burner and then wipe them clean. Remember to wash them with the Comet. Okay, let's go ahead and put this back in the burner. And I did find my little thing to put in my wok to keep it off the bottom of the wok. So this is kind of handy. All right, let me go heat this back up and we'll be right back. Let you see the color. Okay, so now that I put my wax back on the in the wok with the water, the hot water, and I'm going to go ahead and get my jars with my wax candle wicks. Now these you can buy at Hobby Lobby. They're like $2. You get a whole pack. Let's see, whole pack like this of wicks. If not, if you have something like this that you're going to do, it's going to be a lot longer wicks. So if you need those longer wicks, you're going to have to make them from scratch. And I'll show you that on a different video, but or I might show you that in this video as I'm doing it, but I'll show you how to do these later. Right now I'm just going to head and show you kind of a trick on how to do these. You want these to be in the middle, of course. So when they come out of the pack, they're kind of bent like this. So you just want to make sure you bend them right. Make sure that the line is completely straight. Trick is, let's take you a toothpick, something that's, not expensive, and you're just going to wrap like a little hook around the tip. We're just going to set that down, and we're going to set it right there. And you see how far you have to go to get it to be down there? You're going to have to wrap all the way down until it sits. So we're just going to put it back on there. And I'm just going to take it and just wrap it around my toothpick here. I'm just going to keep going. Let's see. It sets in there just a little bit more. Just add it in there. Make sure it sets right. Okay, so I can let go just a little bit. Move it to the center. And you want to make sure you move it to the center so that your wick stays nice and straight. See, it's still like floating in there. You don't want it to do that. So I need to take it down a little bit more. Move it to the center again. Where I want it to set. Try again. Try to get it on there. Okay. Let's be a little bit more precise. Oh, a little bit more precise. Just when you think you got it, you don't. Is that straight in there? Let's see. That's good. Okay. So I want to make sure I put it in the center of my toothpick. Make sure my line is completely straight. Center it down there. And that's it. So each of these glasses, I'm going to do that and get it ready for. And I'm not sure how much my 10 cups of wax is going to do for this. So, but I have extras prepared just in case. And we'll figure that out as we go. So what makes it nice is that if you have any left over, you can just go ahead and pour it in one of these jars and keep it for your next time you make that color. You'll already have, you can write, you know, exactly what your measurements were for that specific color and keep that. And that way you'll know next time, okay, I used 10 cups of wax, you know, a whole bottle, 3.5 ounces of the oil dye, and I was able to make how many jars with that. And then you'll know next time. So that's how I'm going to do that. When I get these all done and my wax is melted, we'll be right back. Okay, we're ready to pour. I've got this out here. I've got my candles ready to go ahead and pour. I've got my wax ready. So I'm just going to head and start pouring evenly in one pour. One. I'm going to go to the next one. Just do it slowly in one complete pour. Okay. That's it. Now that's how I want it to be. Like up to there. It looks really close. Doesn't look like this. Well, it is, isn't it? Looks like we got a little bit further down. Like these two are not quite as much as I wanted. So let's see if I can't melt. I wanted to do it in one complete pour, but I guess these two are okay. These three, I should say, came out perfect. The perfect pour. I mean, I probably could have put a little bit more into that. We'll see what I can do. I do want them all to be pretty congenial, all in one. Let me just heat up what little bit I have left and find out. Well, you would not believe what I did, but you see me pour them, and guess what I forgot? I forgot to put the scent into the candle. I was so excited about getting the color and getting it into the candle. I totally forgot about putting the scent in there, whatever scent that I wanted. So I went ahead, and it was a chore, but I got out all the wax out of my jars again, and reheating the wax up right now. And I had to take these wax wicks out of here, and ended up putting them back in there, getting it ready and getting it set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip this into hot wax, and then I'm going to put it on here so it stays. So that'll be better. Let me go ahead and do that. and that'll set that in that jar real good, and then I can just keep that wick standing up. And then, since I knew it was about approximately five of these jars for that 10 cups of wax, so I went ahead and just set up my 5, did it that way. I also added my labels because I'm going to fill them up to about where that label, the top of that label is, and that's how I'm going to do it. So, I mean, you can do it either way, each way you want. You can get a pen, make a little marker, you can put a label on it, how you want the labels to be, just a plain label too, and use the plain labels to figure out where you're going to end your pour. You don't want to pour and then have to cool down and pour again. You just want to do it in one fresh pour. That way the top of that candle stays nice and smooth. If it's not nice and smooth, it will can go inside. There's so many things that can happen with that wax. So you want to do it in one complete pour. So good thing I did kind of make that mistake, because now I know exactly how many jars I need. And also, if you do make a mistake, you could take these jars, put them in the hot water that you have on the stove, and after you've cleaned out all the wax, or get the wax particles out until you have something like this, and then stick these in that hot water to get any residue out of there as much as you can. It will be kind of waxy in the side, but then you just put the Comet on there and scrub it with a green scrubby, and these will come out perfect again. As you can see, I had to redo them, so that was a pain in the butt, but I mean, I made my mistake, I fixed it, and this is what I'm going to do now. So I do have the wax on the stove in the double boiler, and I'm going to wait until I get it all done. I will add some oils here that I have. I think I'm going to do all cashmere oil in these ones, and if I do another set, I'll probably end up doing some chamomile in the other ones, so we'll see what I do, but I'll be right back when the wax is ready to pour. Okay, so I have my cashmere here. It's a fragrance oil. You can use whatever oil you like. Use something that, as long as it's not going to interfere with, you have a reaction to it. So you can leave the candles like they were. I guess I could have done it that way, but I like to have a little smell with my candles. So I'm going to add this cashmere in here. I'm going to do about a teaspoon at a time until I get it to be fragrant. So there's 1 teaspoon there. I'm going to go ahead and give it a stir. Stir it up. Okay. And I still smell wax, so I'm just going to head and add another teaspoon of that cashmere. You can have it as potent as you want it to be. It's totally up to you what you want to do. It's better. It's not as waxy, I guess. It has that wax smell to it. So I'm going to add another teaspoon. Let's see. So that's 3. Yeah, it's fragrant. I can't smell the wax anymore, but I like it to smell, so I'm going to add another one. I'm going to add another 4. I'm going to add 4 teaspoons to it. Let's see what that does. That should bring it out a lot. It does have that. It smells nice. It's not very strong. So I'm going to go ahead and do another one. Let's do 5. 5 teaspoons of oil here. Good teaspoons. So, do 5. and it is starting to cool. So I'm going to put this back on the burner, get it melted down again, and then we'll be ready to pour. So then I have my wax, my fragrance, and then we'll have our candles. Yeah, that smells a lot better. Here, let me move this out the way because I think I'm getting that smell. Now let me smell. Yeah, I don't think it's quite right. That was 5. Let's do another one. 6. I don't know. I'm gonna do 7. I smell it in here. I don't know. It's kind of. I'm gonna do 7. I think I'm just gonna do 7, and that's it. 7 teaspoons. I mean, I'm starting to really smell it now in the oil or in the wax. So I think I'm done. I like the smell of it. I think that's cashmere is a light smell anyway. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. 7 and then I'm done. Okay, let me go put this back on the burner or back in the water, double boiler. Let me, because the sides are already melting or getting cold. So I want all that to be liquid so then we can start our pour. Okay, I'm back. Now I went ahead and reheated it up. And so all of it's liquid right now. I'm going to try to do one complete pour and just keep going until my very last one, and then I'll reheat. I don't want to reheat it up. I guess it's still hot enough, so I think I have enough to do this last one here. There we go. And I have maybe just a little bit to pour into one of these little containers to keep all the rest of that in there. And that's going to be my practice, or I should say a little bit of keeping. So let me go ahead and I'm going to heat this up, get what I can, pour it back into that one. This is just for my keep candle for next time. Okay, I've got this little bit left over. Just going to come and pour this little amount back in here for my keep one. There you go. So easy to do. Okay, just kind of sip it a around there. As you can see, I didn't have quite enough to make another candle, so I might later on, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Might mix it with something, but for right now, I can use it as a training or a keepsake thing for as far as the color goes, what you're gonna expect this color. So I'll take this label off of here and put a label on here that shows you that it's gonna be, you know, you're gonna use the process of, what was it, 400 drops, which is one bottle, which one bottle is 3.5 ounces. So one bottle for 10 cups of wax. It's going to give you 5 candles, and let's see, these are coming off, I don't know. 5 candles, probably because it's really hot. Anyway, but let them cool. Don't put them together. Don't let them touch because they need to cool. And just be careful with them. You want the top to be nice and smooth and glossy. So, yeah, that's how I do my candles. And then when I'm done, I'm just going to snip these off with some scissors. Snip, 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 snip. And your candles are ready to roll. And you can use them anytime you want to. In my next video, I'm probably going to show you guys how I do these candles for your molds. Because the wicks have to be longer than these. These are for these short little candles. We need the wick to be bigger and longer, so we'll have to use some type of twine, what we've got here. And I'll show you that in a different video. But this was definitely awesome. Usually I just use my normal wax, my yellow wax, because it's beautiful just like it is. But because that wax was so dirty, and I can get it, that's as clean as I can get it. So we come from, I'll show you again. This was how dirty it was, and look how pretty it is now. So that's what we got. We came from this to that. How exciting. And next time, I'll probably end up doing different colors, but at least now I know exactly how the measurements go. And we used 7 teaspoons of your oil in there. Your fragrance oil is what I use for 10 cups of wax. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for doing it with me. This is my first time using the oil-based colors. I'm not used to doing that because I'm just used to using my regular yellow wax. So thanks for doing it with me. I hope you guys learned something. Don't make the mistake that I made and having to redo everything. So learn from my mistakes, and hope you guys had fun. Enjoy your candles. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.